thinking about the concept of growth and noticing in myself that I have a real bias toward wanting to be around people who have a real interest in growing. I have a real bias toward that. And I also notice that I tend to move away from people who have no interest whatsoever in growing. I notice that about myself. I also notice that in growing, there are kind of two different ways of going about it. There is the growth that we make a conscious choice to pursue. We make a decision that we want to be more. We make a decision that we want to learn something new. And we stretch into that. We stretch into that. I was making cannolis yesterday. We got a couple of people coming over to our house for dinner, and I wanted to do an Italian theme. And I've only made them once before and only mildly successful. And so I thought, okay, I've got time after our training yesterday to go home. I had made up the batter, and now all I needed to do was roll cannolis out. If you don't know what they are, it's an Italian pastry that is deep fried. It's a crisp little cookie. And then you fill it with a pastry, you use a pastry bag, you fill it with ricotta cheese and some wonderful chocolate, and it's just very, very nice when it's perfect. But it takes a little while to learn how to master making these things. And I thought, great, well, I've grown from the last time I've made them. I learned some things that didn't work quite right last time, and I'm going to apply them to this time. And guess what? Only some of the things I learned worked right this next time. So I still have a chance to stretch into learning how to do that next time. But you know what? Next time it's going to be easier. It's because I've already learned something by choice. I will often challenge myself to do something that feels beyond what I'm currently capable of doing. Raise your hand if you do that as well. That's growing by conscious choice. When I ski, Doug, turn me down a little bit. I feel too loud to me. When I ski, I purposely will, now turn me up a little bit. Find that sweet, just right spot. I will purposely pick a really hard run while I still have the energy, which is usually right before lunch. Because when I make it down that really tough slope, like the ones that are called the wall, and you know, they're called the wall for a reason. Not the slope, the wall. After that, it's like, put me on anything else on the mountain, I've got some new confidence, right? Growth that happens when it's by our own choice. But there is also growth that can happen when it's not something we have purposely selected. Maybe we find that our company's downsizing and we're one of the ones that are being invited to leave. Or we find that a loved one has just made their transition. Or we find that the doctor has said to us, we've got cancer, or we've got some other illness that causes us to be very frightened. Those are situations that we probably didn't consciously choose to find ourselves in. And the growth that can happen in those situations is not automatic. We have to choose to grow through those situations. But nonetheless, if we make the choice, we can grow. And so today and in the next 3 series, I want to share with you some fun ways, some creative ways to approach the topic of your own growth.